current school. Mike Shaw in his second season at the helm of the Tar Heels. Erin Virtue in her second season leading the Michigan Wolverines. Carolina will serve first. Zoe Barrett to put it in play and opens things up with an ace. It's the 6th ace of the season for the sophomore from Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin. You can't draw up a much better start. They're the folks in Carolina blue. Tar Heels are in the white with Carolina blue letters and numbers. Michigan in the very familiar maize and blue. Attack from the outside, and Michigan levels things up. That's Valentina Valette, a sophomore out of Argentina, and a face that Michigan fans are excited to see back in there. She did not play in the last 2 matches that Michigan has taken part in over the course of the last couple of weeks. Maddie May, the libero for the Tar Heels on the receiving end. Back set sets up Mabry Schaffmaster, 9 in white. 3-time All-ACC selection, the unquestioned leader of the North Carolina offense. Out of the middle, Alexis Engelbrecht gets a swing. Allison Jacobs goes off speed. Jacobs, the graduate student from California, leads the Wolverines just over 4 kills per set. Ella Demetrician's at the service line. She's a freshman from Appleton, Wisconsin, who's earned a starting role right from the get-go for Coach Virtue and the Wolverines. Engelbrecht out of the middle, tied at 2. Alexis Engelbrecht, a Durham, North Carolina native who spent 4 seasons at Iowa State, utilizing her final year of eligibility, the bonus year of eligibility, if you will, to come back home and wear Carolina blue. The aforementioned Mabry Schaffmaster, their powerful serve. And it's a service error that gives Michigan the lead back. Michigan 9-0 on the season. They've played 2 fellow Power 4 teams, beating Mississippi State in straight sets in a true road match September the 6th. Also a 4-set victory against Notre Dame, a neutral site matchup that was played there in Starkville. All the other action for Michigan has been against mid-major competition, but Erin Virtue says it's been a good start for us. Plenty of different styles that we've played, plenty of good tests. Really pleased to be 9-0, which has already exceeded their 7-win total from last season. 2-point lead for Michigan as the block gets involved on the right side. That's Valette, the Argentinian sophomore, and Jackie Boney, veteran senior middle blocker, 17 in Mays, that gets involved. Mira Chopra comes in to serve, senior out of Champaign, Illinois. Dig by May, set from Barrett. Engelbrecht blocked back, but Michigan's going to be called for being in the nets, and the violation gives the point to the Tar Heels. Maddie May will serve for Carolina. A Tar Heel team that suffered their first loss of the season 2 Sundays ago on the road against South Carolina. That was a sweep at the hands of the Gamecocks. Carolina found themselves in a similar spot Sunday on the road against Kansas State. They dropped the first set against the Wildcats in a hostile road environment against another power conference team. And Mike Shaw said that his team just got together after that first set came to an end. It was a set that went to extra points, 28-26. And the team essentially said, you know, enough of that. We're not going to have a disappointing set dropped like that again. And they went out, took the second set 25-13, wound up rolling to a 4-set win on the road. Safi Hampton. Safi Hampton, sophomore outside for the Tar Heels, who has seen her playing time go up in the last couple of weeks, makes it 5-4. You'll see the Tar Heels run a 6-2 offense, so Barrett will sub out. And in comes Taylor Eisert, Louisville native, 4 years as a setter at Middle Tennessee State, was the Conference USA Setter of the Year last year. Low floating serve results in a free ball. Carolina can't do anything with it. Boney's going to get a swing. Joust at the net, bumped up by Foster. Jackie Taylor pushed over. And the point will go to Michigan. It'll be a double contact called on Carolina. Remember, this year the rule changed on double contacts in college volleyball. They are now permitted if the next touch is not by the opposition. But in that circumstance right there, the ball was double contacted by Carolina. The next touch was by Michigan. Therefore, that is still a double contact violation, even with the rule change here in 2024. So it results in a 2-point lead for the Wolverines, and Allison Jacobs will put it up. Eisert across. And it's a kill for Imani Foster. Imani Foster transferred in from Charlotte prior to last season. Second season and final season of eligibility. Hampton to serve. Cochran, the libero, digs it up. Set from Burke, a little bit off balance. Carolina calling for 4 hits. Foster will guide it over, and Tar Heels get the point anyway on a Foster kill. Mike Shaw just letting the officials know what he saw, but ends up being no harm, no foul. We're level at 6. Safi Hampton starting her 5th match of the season tonight. There is a projected starter, if you will, for Carolina that's unavailable yet again, and that's the Miami transfer, Paymon Yadamja, who is once again not in the regular lineup for Carolina tonight, and the Tar Heels will get the point here. Mabry Schaffmaster with the kill, 7-6. That's a mini 3-0 run with Hampton at the service line. So Carolina surges back ahead off the Schaffmaster kill, her first of the night. Tar Heels leader in kills per set. Boney. Back set for Foster. Down the line. Is it in? Yes, it is. 4 straight points for the Tar Heels. Michigan went up 6-4 off that double contact. Since then, it's been all Carolina. Foster with 3 kills already. Schaffmaster with a kill in there as well. And that prompts an early timeout called by Michigan. Now let's see here. No, it may not be a timeout here. This may be a video review, in which case we'll keep it right here. And that is correct. Michigan is challenging whether or not that ball was in. Now this is a circumstance where even if perhaps the ball is going to end up called out, it's in essence a free timeout for Michigan. Now, you are limited in your number of video reviews. You get 2. If you are successful, you do get to keep it. But this gives Erin Virtue, second-year head coach, the opportunity to gather her team around. Michigan a season ago, 7-22 overall, just 5-15 in the Big Ten. In fact, the Tar Heels are one of the 2 non-conference victories for Michigan last season. And the Wolverines got hot early November, won 4 of 5, but then kind of ended the season with a thud. So they ended on a 4-match losing streak, dropping 12 of 14 sets to end the year. But now, 9 wins already this year. They've surpassed their win total from the entire season a year ago. And Erin Virtue says it's a night and day difference from last year. There's 10 returning players in the group this year, and the stability in the lineup is just so much different from what Michigan had a season ago. Folks know their roles. They've hit a little bit of adversity with the injury to Valentina Valette that kept her out of the lineup the last couple. But Valette back in there for Michigan here tonight. And overall, just a much smoother second season for Erin Virtue, who was a Michigan assistant 2011 to 2015. Served as the offensive coordinator for the United States women's national team at the Olympics over the summer. And after review, the ball was out. It is a point for Michigan. It is a successful challenge for the Wolverines, and it ties the setup at 7. So way more than just a free timeout right there. Michigan snaps the Carolina run, sides out, and sends Maddie Cochran to the service line. Senior libero from Downers Grove, Illinois. Hampton, free ball, kept up. There'll be another free one here from Michigan. Nyambio, Serena Nyambio, one in Mays, who made the contact. Schaffmaster off the block. Mabry Schaffmaster picks up her second kill of the night. Carolina goes back on top. First time tonight we get to see Jackie Taylor at the service line, the Miami, Florida freshman. Who has earned a starting role right from the get-go. Her first season in Carolina blue, coming off of a fantastic match against Kansas State. 6 kills, 10 blocks, hit 500. Paving the way for Carolina to come back after dropping the first set to the Wildcats on the road on Sunday. Taylor. And it is just long. Ties us up at 8. So a service error for Jackie Taylor. 12th of her season. Morgan Burke, the setter, in the 5-1 offense for the Michigan Wolverines, will serve here. Sophomore that Aaron Virtue calls a very steady leader. At the net, Schaffmaster will dump it down. Tar Heels back up by 1. Zoe Barrett will sub back in, as will Chelsea Thorpe. Foster and Isert to the bench. So one trip through the serving rotation. Carolina in front 9-8. Been a back and forth first set so far. One run of 3-0. Michigan sides out quickly on the service error. That is already the 3rd by the Tar Heels. So Carolina hitting .400 to start things out. 8 of the 9 points coming from kills. Michigan has just 3 of their 9 from kills so far. Ella Demetrician, the Wolverine freshman. Barrett, a back set for Schaffmaster. Burke. Jacobs will get a swing on it. May is there. Another back set, Schaffmaster takes something off. It goes cross court and gets the Tar Heels to double digits. Mabry Schaffmaster starting to come alive. 4 kills already in the Tar Heels' first 10 points. Schaffmaster averaging 4 kills a set coming into play tonight. That's on pace for the best of her career. Previous best was about 3.9 in her All-ACC season in 2022. Wolverines out of system, and the ball doesn't even make it over. Heels by a pair. Schaffmaster once again. The aggressive serve this time catches the net. Michigan will side out. Boney and Chopra back in here for the Wolverines. Their last action, a 4-set win against Oakland at home last Sunday. Second time this season that the Wolverines have left Ann Arbor. We told you about their trip to Starkville. They faced Mississippi State and Notre Dame in an event titled the Stark Vegas Classic a couple of weeks ago. Chopra's serve received by Hampton. Barrett will go to Thorpe, and she is stuffed. Michigan familiar with Chelsea Thorpe. She's a transfer from Ohio State. And the Wolverine block ties it up at 11. Second block by Michigan. Chopra will continue to serve. Again, they serve Hampton. Safi Hampton, was it in? No, it was not. Not touched. Sailed across and out. Make it 3 straight points for the Wolverines. Their first 3-0 run of the night. See if Chopra serves Hampton once more. She does. Barrett will touch it for Thorpe. Jacobs pushed over. And Allison Jacobs will be called for a double contact. So a point for Carolina. Michigan got out of system. Jacobs was in desperation mode there. Had to try and do something. Ends up called for the faults. So Carolina will side out after the 3-0 run. Maddie May's serve just touches the tape and rolls over. Cochran, a bump set for Jacobs. Jacobs just inside the back line. Allison Jacobs had a career best 25 kills last weekend against Akron. That is her second kill of this first set. There's Valentina Valette. Barrett, push it across. Hampton, big hops, tools the block for a point. Safi Hampton, the second-generation Tar Heel. Her mother, Dr. Maria Trent, attended medical school at UNC. And Hampton, as she's seen the expanded playing time with the injury to Yadamja, Stepping up for Carolina tonight, she's got 2 kills. 4 different Tar Heels with multiple kills already. Eisert's floating serve. Jacobs a big answer. Michigan goes back up by 1. So Michigan takes a 1-point lead, puts us on the cusp of the media timeout. Substituting in for the Wolverines, Kendall Ray, daughter of former NHL player Darrell Ray, and a graduate transfer from Alabama, wears 14 in Mays. Jacobs to serve, and her serve is heavy, point Heels. First service error of the night for Michigan. That's been a bit of a bugaboo for the Wolverines so far. They are 15th best in the 18-team Big Ten in fewest service errors, and there's an ace. Couple of service aces, including the one that sent us to the timeout from Safi Hampton. And Carolina with an early lead here on Michigan in a back-and-forth first set. 2 teams off to great starts here in 2024. The 6-1 Tar Heels against a Michigan team. They will tie things up inside out here, but Michigan 9-0. They're one of 11 teams that woke up this morning undefeated. Aaron Virtue's team has already surpassed their win total from the entire season a year ago and looking for a 10-0 start, which would be the 8th in Michigan history if they're able to get it done tonight. Schaffmaster off the block. Back and forth we go. Carson Overbeck will come in to serve. This is a serving sub the Tar Heels will utilize as much as they can as they have subs available. Redshirt junior from right here in Chapel Hill. 1 ace so far this season for Overbeck. Jacobs is on the receiving end. Burke will send it across. Niembo off the slide. Serena Niembio, junior from Troy, Michigan, playing for her home state team. Picks up the kill to tie us at 16. Morgan Burke will serve now. Took over the starting role at setter midway through last season, helped to stabilize things. Down the stretch for the Wolverines. Zamani Foster hard down the line, but out. Attack error for the Tar Heels. Already Carolina's 5th. May sprawls out. It's just inside the back line. Service ace Michigan. First ace of the night for the Wolverines. 3rd best in the Big Ten in aces per set coming into play tonight. And they open up an all-important 2-point lead. Now a free ball. Niembio capitalizes. Timeout, North Carolina. Michigan rolling on a 4-0 run, and the Maize and Blue trying to take set 1.
Keep up with Carolina Volleyball all season long by liking Carolina Volleyball on Facebook and following at UNC Volleyball on Instagram and X. For information on UNC Volleyball.
It's a 4-0 run for Aaron Virtue's Michigan Wolverines, off to a 9-0 start this season, looking to take set number 1 on the road here tonight against North Carolina. Michigan being paced offensively by Allison Jacobs, 3 kills, but just 7 of these 19 points coming via the kill for Michigan. Self-inflicted errors for North Carolina, and out of the timeout, more of the same, extend the run to 5-0. And Michigan has taken the major upper hand in this opening set. All of this is coming with the setter, Morgan Burke, at the service line. Hampton with the dig. Set by Schaffmaster, Foster block back. May bump set to Schaffmaster on the outside. Back row attack, Jacobs. Carolina did well to keep it up. Long rally here, critical rally. From the outside, Valette, welcome back. Valentina Valette missed the last 2 for Michigan. Picks up a huge kill to extend the run to 6-0. And Michigan has opened up a 5-point lead. All of a sudden, the Wolverines hitting .333 for this first set. Isert sets Engelbrecht. Ray. May, another bump for Foster off the block. Jacobs there. Back set, Valette once more. This time goes off speed. Carolina has an answer for it. Schaffmaster down the line. Another long rally. Cochran with the free ball. Bumped up Isert. Hampton will play it over. Burke will set up Niambio in the middle. We go onward. Schaffmaster ends it. Huge point for the Heels. It snaps the 6-0 run for Michigan. Pulls Carolina within 4, but still work to do for the Tar Heels. Gets the crowd here in Carmichael Arena back into it. Zoe Barrett will serve for a 3rd time for the Tar Heels. Ray on the receiving ends. Valette, Carolina block coming alive, their first of the night. A Tar Heel team that rode the strength of the block, 14 of them Sunday in the Little Apple in Manhattan. Nearly an ace. Valette joust at the net, 3 straight points for the Tar Heels. It's a 3-0 run for the North Carolina Tar Heels, prompting a Michigan timeout. Each team with 1 timeout still remaining in this opening set. Just moments ago, Michigan led it by 5 at 21-16. Last 3 points have gone to the hosts tonight. It's been a fun first set, as we expected, between 2 teams. Promising starts here in 2024. Out of the timeout, Michigan picks up a critical point. That's Kendall Ray. 22-19 now. Michigan 3 points away. Nella Demetrician will serve. 3rd trip through the serving rotation for the Wolverines. Barents sets up Schaffmaster, and Mabry Schaffmaster sides out. That is kill number 7 for Schaffmaster on 11 swings. Fantastic start for the Carolina senior, who will now report to the service line. Her team, though, still in a 2-point deficit. Schaffmaster's serve just a bit long. We'll see if the Tar Heels want to take a look at this one. And the answer to that is no. They'll let it go. Michigan 2 points away. Serena Nyambio will drop back. Barrett sets the middle. Alexis Engelbrecht. The Iowa State graduate transfer. Her 3rd kill. Puts her 2nd on the team in this first set behind Schaffmaster. 23-21. The Tar Heels have a run in them, or can Michigan put this away in quick order? Burke across for Jacobs. Barrett can't handle it, and Allison Jacobs, her 4th kill of the set, puts Michigan on the doorstep. Vallette will serve for the set. North Carolina will take a timeout first, though. 24-21, Michigan will keep it right here. So, matchup between a couple of teams that the programs have experienced through the years. For the Tar Heels, it was a 13-14 campaign, their first losing season since 2018, just their 5th since the turn of the century. As for Michigan, they went 7-22, as we've told you a couple of times. That was their worst record since 1990. But both of these programs were under first-year leadership last year, and Mike Shaw and Aaron Virtue. And now it's year 2. And it's just fitting that they're able to see each other here, with the Tar Heels off to the 6-1 start, earning a road victory against Kansas State out of the Big 12. Michigan already with a couple of wins away from Ann Arbor against power conference competition in Mississippi State and Notre Dame. But this is a real measuring stick match for both of these teams as they seek to return to the NCAA tournament here in 2024. Mike Shaw said that it was evident over the summer how bought in this team was, and he's starting to see the fruits of that with his coaching staff over the course of the first few weeks of this season. In the first set here tonight, as Valentina Vallette will serve for Michigan, 1 point away. Carolina out of timeouts. Michigan still has 1. Vallette puts it up. Jackie Taylor out of the middle. Off the slide, Boney block back. The outside, Jacobs. Carolina stays alive. Chelsea Thorpe with the denial. So a second set point. For the Tar Heels. A floater. Burke to Boney. Another swing from Jacobs. Jacobs it's touched. Oh, or was Carolina in the net? Carolina was in the net, they say, and the set is over. Well, let's see here. Have gotten together as part of the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Carolina, Michigan, Michigan State, and Duke have had a scheduling agreement. Michigan State playing it over at Cameron Indoor tonight. Venues will flip for the second match of the weekend. First attack of the second set comes from Carolina. And the Tar Heels go up early on. Told you that win on Sunday for Carolina on the road against Kansas State. They dropped the first set in a close, hard-fought set, and then won the next 3. So they're more of the same tonight. Perhaps some miscommunication there. Hampton off the block. Valentina Vallette keeps it alive for Michigan. Back set for Demetrician, the freshman. Thorpe. Long rally here, and it's dumped over by Demetrician. Point Michigan. Ella Demetrician's first kill of the night. She will drop to the service line for Michigan. Wolverines hitting 200 as a team. And Demetrician will fire it out of bounds. Service error gives the point to the Tar Heels. Carolina had 6 service errors over the course of that first set. Just some self-inflicted mistakes. Michigan taking full advantage, though. Built a lot of momentum right around the middle of the set. And Maddie May will bounce back with an ace. Third ace of the night for the Tar Heels. For Maddie May, it is ace number 4 of the season. The junior from Winterville, North Carolina, in the eastern part of the state. Tar Heels by 2 early in the sets. Cochran with an answer. Out of the middle, Serena Nyambio. Big side out. Third kill for Nyambio. Allison Jacobs leading the way in kills for Michigan with 5. Mabry Schaffmaster paces Carolina with 7. Mira Chopra to serve for Michigan. Chopra, the veteran, one of just 6 upper-class players on a 17-player roster for the Wolverines. Thorpe's contact is heavy. Michigan with back-to-back points to tie it. Last season, Michigan had just 6 underclass players, but Erin Virtue putting her own stamp on the roster this year. Her second season as Michigan's head coach. Barrett, tight to the net, and in fact it goes over, and Michigan's able to capitalize on it. That's Vallette. So 3 straight points. 3-0 run for Michigan. Chopra at the service line. Takes the early Carolina advantage. Turns it right to maize and blue. Michigan's been serving Safi Hampton a lot. She'll bounce back with a hard hammer to tie it. Third kill of the night for Safi Hampton. Taylor Isert will serve now for the Tar Heels. (6-2) offense for Carolina. Barrett and Isert splitting the center duties. The incumbent Barrett, Isert, the graduate transfer from Middle Tennessee. Carolina called for a touch, so point will go to Michigan. Quick sign out by the Wolverines. Valentina Vallette played a lot of left side last season as a freshman for Michigan. Playing more on the right side this year as a sophomore. Jackie Taylor blocked. Bumped over. Hampton. The hops for Safi Hampton on display tonight. And already Hampton with 2 early kills in this second set. Outside, Jacobs. Block is there. Cochran, bump it back for Jacobs. May. Schaffmaster. And point to the Wolverines. Another attack error for Carolina. That's been the difference so far. Already the 8th attack error for the Tar Heels. 6 service errors. Michigan's been clean. They've been effective. Wolverines took the first set 25-22. Now the 6-5 advantage in the second. Foster with authority. Imani Foster. Foster got up to hammer that one home. Now Jackie Taylor will serve. The freshman wears number 21 to honor her late father, Sean Taylor. 2-time NFL Pro Bowl selection, who tragically passed away at the age of 24 in 2007. Was picked in the top 5 of the NFL draft in 2004 out of Miami by the now Washington Commanders. I'm talking with Mike Shaw about the growth of Jackie Taylor and how much she's earned a role as a freshman starting from the get-go. He says, you know, like any freshman, there are good days, there are bad days. He says, but the instincts she has athletically, those are genetic. And that comes from her father and her mother, who was a soccer player at the University of Miami. Where's that number 21 to honor Sean's memory? Michigan ties things up at 7. Taylor will head to the bench. Now serving for the Wolverines, Maddie Cochran. Isert, tight set, Engelbrecht dug up. Out of the back row, Jacobs. Was it touched? It was not. The rare miscue for Michigan tonight results in a Carolina side-out. Zoe Barrett will serve now for the Tar Heels. Burke across for Ray. Great dig, May. Schaffmaster will set up Thorpe. And Thorpe's attack is wide. Schaffmaster getting involved as a passer after the dig from May. Thorpe couldn't locate that cross-court shot, though. So we stay tied. Off the tape, Barrett for Schaffmaster. Block back. Barrett again, back to Schaffmaster, this time over the block. Jacobs on the receiving ends. Ray will touch it over. Kendall Ray alertly saw that open spot between the front and back row. And the veteran, 40 years at Alabama, but first year now at Michigan. High IQ play gives the Wolverines the advantage. Barrett again for Schaffmaster, and Schaffmaster off the block. 9th kill for Mabry. Schaffmaster's had 13 or more kills in 4 straight matches, 5 times so far this year. The 3-time All-ACC pick, 2-time first-team All-ACC player in her final season in Carolina blue, putting the team on her shoulders tonight. Free ball. Barrett back to Thorpe, a high set off the block. Michigan had time to get there. Vowlette. Point Carolina. So the Tar Heels with back-to-back points. They go up by 1 at 10-9. Schaffmaster will continue to serve. Burke's set goes wide for Vowlette. Barrett there with the cover. Bump set from the libero. Hampton comes flying in. Rally continues. Carolina with a 3rd straight points. Tar Heels got Michigan out of system, and now Aaron Virtue needs a timeout. Three straight points for North Carolina. They've opened up an 11-9 lead here in the second set of action after Michigan took set number 1, 25-22. Matt Krause with you here in Carmichael Arena in Chapel Hill, and out of the timeout, Safi Hampton gets up to detonate it. 5th kill for Safi Hampton. Sophomore out of Maryland, was not a mainstay in the lineup the first weekend of the season, but after Payman Yadamja suffered an injury, Hampton's been thrust in there and been playing very, very well here tonight. Service error for the Tar Heels, already their 7th of this match, and it quells the momentum, stops the run. Ella Demetrician will serve for Michigan. Demetrician, outside hitter, freshman that Aaron Virtue says plays the highest of any of our outsides on this roster. May across for Thorpe. Nyambio, Michigan, out of system, and Carolina will pick up the point. It's a 3-point advantage for the Tar Heels, and the libero May will serve it. Maddie May already with an ace to her credit tonight. Nearly a second. Vallette covered by Taylor. And Tar Heels are saying that Michigan was in the net. Either that or a double contact, but either way, the fault will result in a 4-point advantage for the hosts. And the deficit is not as wide as the eventual 25-13 margin in the second set Sunday in Manhattan, but you're seeing more of this from the Tar Heels than what you saw on Sunday. A tough first set loss, bouncing back by controlling set number 2. Vallette with a big answer. Talk about control. Valentina Vallette back in the lineup, leads Michigan tonight with 6 kills. Missed the last 2 matches for the Wolverines. The Argentinian sophomore having herself quite the night on the right side. Mira Chopra to serve for Michigan. She was at the service line when they went on a 3-0 spurt earlier on in the set. Barrett for Hampton. And a point for Carolina. Net violation. Wolverines got in there. Quick side out for the Tar Heels. Double sub in the 6-2 offense, so Eisert will come in to serve. Tar Heels now hitting 236 for the match. Michigan has dipped below 200 at 188. Eisert serve. Barely off the tape, but rolled over. A back set for Vallette. Great vision by Valentina Vallette. With 7 kills on 14 attacks, Vallette does have 4 errors tonight. Feels like she's picked up critical points in this first set and change. Now a serve that is heavy and long, and the service error, the 3rd of the night for Michigan, gives Carolina the point. Hampton will serve. Eisert bumps over for Schaffmaster. Good dig. Rally continues. Foster will punch it over. And I think they just got the Tar Heels for 2. By the way, in the match for Michigan, 28 in Mays, that's Trixie McMillan, freshman defensive specialist out of Redondo Beach, California. So McMillan in there defensively for Michigan. Jacobs will serve, Allison Jacobs. Michigan's offensive leader, the veteran outside presence. Taylor handled the serve, allows Foster to get off a good swing, and Amani Foster with the kill. That lead for Carolina has hung right around 4 points for the last several sequences. Now sits 17-13. Michigan's already taken 1 timeout in this second set. Jackie Taylor will serve. Good up by Eisert. Schaffmaster's going to have to get this over, does so, but good opportunity here for Michigan. It's a back row flying attack from Jacobs. Hampton. Burke, back set for Boney, and Boney contacted the antenna. Point Carolina. To play today in Division I volleyball, finding themselves up in the match 1-0, but down by 5 points as North Carolina tries to even this thing up, headed into intermission at a set apiece. Jackie Taylor continuing at the service line for the Tar Heels, and it's Taylor who will touch it over to Eisert. Schaffmaster just misstruck that one, didn't get over the net, and the attack error will give a point to Michigan. Maddie Cochran will serve for Michigan here. Cochran serve. May on the receiving end. And Maddie May off that initial serve reception. Couldn't get it cleanly to Isert, and another point for the Wolverines. This is what Michigan wanted to see coming out of the timeout, pulling it back within 3. They'll serve May again. This time, it's an opportunity for Foster at the net. Niembio, it's got to get over this time. Jacobs will do so. Carolina should get a good swing out of this. They do, and off the slide, Alexis Engelbrecht sides out. Tar Heels go up by 4. Zoe Barents in to serve. Jacobs on the receiving end. Burke will set up Ray. May is there. Barrett, good swing coming for Thorpe, block back. Bumped to the outside, Schaffmaster. Rally continues. Off the bump set, Schaffmaster. Mabry Schaffmaster to double digits with 10. Mabry Schaffmaster having herself a night. Carolina up by 5. 10 of the team's 26 kills this evening coming from number 9. Niembio off the slide. May and Thorpe lay out for it. Neither can get there. Point Michigan. Do not count the Wolverines out in this second set. Seen them go on multiple little spurts throughout this night so far. Remember, they had that long run where they really took control of the first set, and it came with Morgan Burke at the service line, and that's where Burke is now. After we finish cleaning up the floor, of course, safety first. The Omaha, Nebraska sophomore, and the setter for Michigan serves it. Barrett for Thorpe on the left side, and Michigan there with the block. 4th block of the night for Michigan, their first of this second set, and the Wolverines are within 3. Barents back for Schaffmaster. And Michigan can't handle it. It's kill number 11 for Mabry Schaffmaster. So now it'll be Schaffmaster to serve. Burke had to wait for that one to come down. May bumps it across. Hampton gets up. Safi Hampton, lightning quick. 7th kill for Hampton, trying to keep pace with Schaffmaster. And the Tar Heels push that lead back to 5. Remember, Michigan's out of timeouts here. Tar Heels for the 2nd consecutive match, trying to rally back after dropping the first set by taking set number 2 against a fellow Power Conference non-league team. Schaffmaster. Michigan way out of system. Barents over for Hampton. Safi Hampton. Talk about a fired up bunch of folks in Carolina blue. Tar Heels now 2 points away. Does Michigan have an answer here? It's a 3-0 run to open up the biggest lead of the set. Niembio. Barrett couldn't handle it cleanly. Michigan with a side out. Told you the Wolverines not going to go quietly. In comes Ella Demetrician. Demetrician serve. Received by Hampton. Barrett back for Hampton. Off the block. Tar Heels will have set points. Maddie May will serve. Set point to tie the match, headed into intermission to set a piece. Ambio, May will send it over. Jacobs, May again! Hampton. Michigan had the cover. Jacobs sends over a free ball. Barrett will set it up. It'll be Hampton. And off the block, Michigan stays alive. What a rally. Set point number 2. Michigan trying to make sure everybody's on the same page. See who's going to serve here. It'll be Nyambio. Set point number 2 for the Tar Heels here in the second set. Hampton. Nyambio there. Vallette, May. And touched out. Point Michigan. Back-to-back points, and it'll be set point number 3. Remember, Carolina's got 2 timeouts. Michigan's out of timeouts. Mike Shull trusting his team here. Set point number 3 to level the match. Service error. Set Carolina. Michigan took set 1, 25-22. North Carolina bounces back. A 25-20 victory in the second set. This one is going at least 4 tonight. As for Michigan, Valentina Vallette, who missed their last 2 matchups due to injury, she has a team best 8 kills. Zoe Barrett with the serve for the Tar Heels to get set number 3 going, and it's Vallette with the first contact straight into the net, and an early point for North Carolina. Barrett. Across for Vallette. Barrett races over to allow Schaffmaster to get a touch and pick up her 12th kill. She's had 13 or more in 4 straight matches, and now it is all but inevitable that streak will reach a 5th. Good early start for Carolina out of the intermission break. Cochran a good up. Nyambio block back. Alexis Engelbrecht with the stuff. 6th block of the night for the Tar Heels. 2 blocks in the first set, 3 in the second. And now a first block in set number 3. Solo block by Engelbrecht at that. Barents across for Schaffmaster. Can't use the net to her advantage, and it'll stay on the Tar Heels side. First point for Michigan in this 3rd set. Ella Demetrician will serve for the Wolverines. Freshman's been pretty quiet tonight. 1 kill on 3 attacks. Another serve to Safi Hampton. She's handling it well. And off the block, Michigan pulls back within 1. That was Nyambio and Vallette. Wolverines have had an answer most of the night until Carolina really stepped on the gas with a late 3-0 run in the second set to take control. Demetrician's serve is heavy, point Carolina. It's a service error for Michigan, they're 5th. Now that number is starting to creep closer and closer. Carolina has 7 service errors on the night. And that was really the Tar Heels' undoing with 6 of them in the first set. But Michigan now has been the team that's struggled more at the service line. Engelbrecht, and Michigan was in the net. Net violation on Allison Jacobs. Point for Carolina here. So back to a 3-point advantage, and Mabry Schaffmaster, who's paced the offense, is not just 12 kills, it's on 24 attacks, hitting .333. Pretty good night for her. Jacobs, Schaffmaster on the defensive ends. Barrett over for Chelsea Thorpe, and the former Buckeye puts the Tar Heels up 4 on the Wolverines. Early timeout, Michigan. Momentum is shifted on this Friday night to the home team. Carolina by 4 early in the third.
Carolina Athletics would like to thank the Daily Tar Heel for their continued support. Follow the Daily Tar Heel or visit dailytarheels.com for independent coverage of Carolina's 28 varsity sports.
So 3-0 run for the North Carolina Tar Heels, already their second of this third set. And Carolina leads it by 4 over Michigan, prompting an early timeout from the Wolverines and head coach Aaron Virtue. Carolina taking the second set after Michigan won the first, and all the momentum in the world was on Carolina's side prior to that service error from Avery Schaffmaster. Talked about it just a couple of moments ago, Carolina's success in cutting out service errors over the course of the second set, but right on cue, Michigan with a huge side out right there. Mira Chopra to serve now for the Wolverines. Hampton on the receiving end again. Michigan is constantly serving Safi Hampton, and she has handled it well. Vallette. Schaffmaster sprawls to try and keep it in. Michigan with back-to-back points. Here come the Wolverines. Take advantage of the Carolina mistake on the service error. A chance to build a 3-0 run with Chopra at the line. Across for Hampton. And Safi Hampton tools the block for her 10th kill of the night. So Carolina sides out. Maddie May will serve.
Maddie May now serving.
12 kills for Schaffmaster, 10 for Hampton tonight. They have 22 of the 34 for the Tar Heels as a team. Burke, a back set for Vallette. Carolina was right there. That was Taylor and Hampton. Back to the other side. Taylor bumps it. Hampton to the floor. Not exactly in system, but Jackie Taylor, who Mike Shaw says you got to trust what you see. Well, she saw that Hampton was behind her, just bumped it up there for her, and the old assist for the middle. Tar Heels go back up by 4. Tight to the net. Jacobs. Barrett was there. May bumps it back. Hampton. And the Tar Heel lead goes to 5. Safi Hampton ties Schaffmaster for the team lead in kills. Safi Hampton, her career best is 18 kills in a match. She's sitting at 12 now. Definitely within striking distance of breaking that tonight. May's serve handled. Vallette on the outside. Barron, a back set for Thorpe. Something off of it. Vallette down the line off of May. Point Michigan. Valentina Vallette, first Wolverine to double digits in kills tonight with her 10th.
Valentina Vallette now serving.
And Vallette will now drop back and serve. Her season high is 15 kills. That came in the opener against Delaware. Michigan dropped the first 2 sets in that season opener to the Blue Hens. Wolverines roared back, though, to win the match in a reverse sweep. Barrett over for Hampton. The hops again. The verticality from the sophomore, so impressive. Now Isert will serve for the Tar Heels. Hampton up to 13 kills on the match and hitting .476 in the process. Isert, a low serve. Jacobs got to sprawl out for it. Setter attack there came from Burke. Carolina was ready. Hampton again! 14th of the night. Have a night, Safi Hampton. And this third set is not only a little bit in Carolina's favor, but it is all Tar Heels in set number 3. Isert over. Back set for Boney. Her attack is wide. And Michigan might be considering using the second timeout already in this third set. Erin Virtue's not going to pull it now. But the offensive coordinator for the Olympic team sees her team down 7, nearly 8. And let's see what they call. It is 8. Michigan was under the net, I think they're going to say. And there it is. Erin Virtue calls for time. Michigan takes their second time out of the set. It is all Tar Heels in set number 3. Trying to 4-0 run for the North Carolina Tar Heels, prompting the Michigan Wolverines to take their second timeout, final timeout of this third set. It's a match that's tied up 1 apiece. Carolina took the second set 25-20 following a 25-22 Michigan win in the first set. Now Carolina has roared out of the intermission locker room, opening up this dominant 8-point lead. Michigan hitting .067 over the course of the set so far, just 2 kills on 15 attacks. Carolina, meanwhile, hitting at .545. So just as much as the Tar Heel offense has been clicking defensively, Carolina's been playing well too. And Mike Shaw said that was the next step for his team. He wanted his team to clean up defensive assignments, make things more clear. And they've done a very good job limiting Michigan to 154 for the match. 35 digs already for Carolina. And Michigan will sign out here on a service error. So second time that Michigan has called timeout in this third set and promptly recorded a side out via a service error by Carolina. Allows Allison Jacobs to serve now for the Wolverines, trying to get some momentum back on their side. Foster, big swing. Joust at the net. Taylor punched it over for Carolina. And the Tar Heels will get the point. Michigan reached over the net. And it is worth noting that Michigan has switched setters. Morgan Burke has gone to the bench. And now quarterbacking the Wolverine offense is Ellie White. She's a freshman from Orland Park, Illinois. 6 in Mays. And so Erin Virtue really mixing things up here. Service error by Carolina. Michigan will side out. But the Wolverines bringing White into this matchup. Still 14-7 though. Carolina in front. Whistle will blow, point Heels. And a net violation. Niembio is in the net for Michigan. And the mistakes just mounting up here for the Wolverines. Jackie Taylor to serve now for the Tar Heels. And her serve is long, so all of a sudden service error is becoming a pretty big problem. That is already the 4th of this set. So Michigan, of their 8 points in this third set, half of them have come on service errors. Burke will come back in for Michigan here, and she will serve. So White goes to the bench for the Wolverines. Mass subs for Erin Virtue's team. Foster from the outside. Cochran covers it up. Vallette can't push it over. Attack error on the Wolverines and Vallette. Tar Heels doubling up Michigan here, looking for their first win over the Wolverines since 2021. It would be a 6th in the all-time series that is now in its 10th meeting. But also be Michigan's first defeat of the year, one of 11 unbeatens in the nation at the start of play today. Barrett's serve just got over. Vallette blocked back. Cochran will bump it. Vallette will get a swing. May can't handle it. And Valentina Vallette's been the safety valve offensively all night long for Michigan. Ella Demetrician will serve for the Wolverines. Folks in Ann Arbor have been hailing the victors early and often this season. 9 wins in 9 matches. But in some trouble here in the 3rd set tonight. Jacobs. There's a big kill for Allison Jacobs. Just her 6th kill tonight. Hitting below 100. Came in as a .267 hitter on the season. Still a 6-point advantage for Carolina as Demetrician continues to serve. Barents sets the middle and Engelbrechts. Free ball. Barents again. Engelbrecht block back. Carolina with an answer. Long rally here. Vallette from the outside. Valentina Vallette. And Michigan with a 3-0 run of their own. That'll prompt a timeout from Carolina. Wolverines with some life. Still work to be done, though, in the 3rd set. And a tied match at 1 apiece. So timeout called by the Tar Heels. Michigan is already out of timeouts, but the Wolverines on a 3-0 run here. 3rd set action between the unbeaten Wolverines and the 6-1 Tar Heels. Carmichael Arena on a Friday night in Chapel Hill. Michigan won the 1st set. 2nd went to Carolina. Now the Tar Heels up by 5 in the 3rd set. Out of the timeout, Mabry Schaffmaster with her 13th kill of the evening. Lucky 13 for the senior. As Mike Shaw calls time, calms down his team. But even with the coaching staff calling timeouts, this is a player-led group, and the point we were talking about earlier on in the broadcast, Mike Shaw and his staff saw early on over the course of the summer that this was a driven group, a motivated group with the way in which they got together on their own to practice in the offseason. They weren't satisfied with the way that last year went. A 13-14 campaign, 7-11 in the ACC. 3 reverse sweeps at home last year. You know, he didn't point to that directly in our conversation, but you look at a record like that and you think of just flipping 3 of those, and you've got yourself a winning season in the league competition, a winning season overall. Being able to do those little things to be able to turn that over, a lot of that needs to be player-led, and it seems like the Tar Heels have that recipe this season. Safi Hampton into the block. Boney and Vallette got up for it for Michigan. It's the 7th block of the night for the Wolverines. So Michigan crawls within 4 here. They had the 3-0 run that prompted the timeout. Schaffmaster had the kill out of the timeout. Now back-to-back points for the Maize and Blue. So it's 5 of the last 6 that have gone to Michigan. Chopra to serve it. May on the receiving ends. Barrett across for Hampton, and her 15th kill of the night results in a side out. Safi Hampton 3 away from matching a career high. That was 18 against Miami last season. Maddie May to serve it for the Tar Heels. Burke, a back set for Vallette. Her attack was touched. So a point for Michigan, another kill for Vallette. 13 kills for Vallette. She has been the offense tonight for Michigan. Her serve is long. Service error, just the 6th of the night for the Wolverines. But now that momentum as Michigan had gotten it down to 4 there. Kind of shifting back to Carolina. Oh, so critical third set in a tied match. Aaron Virtue meeting with our officiating crew, making sure everything is in order. That's the veteran official Wade Brentz, our down official tonight. Callie Davis is on the stool on the near side of the court. Hampton looking for 16. It's dug by Cochran. White back in there, setting, by the way, for Michigan. Another substitution the Wolverines have made. Will pick up the point there, and that's Amalia Simmons, third-year sophomore out of Pittsburgh. Just the 4th set all season that Simmons, 11 in Mays, has played in. So it certainly looks as though Michigan has gone 6-2 here, playing with White and Burke. And a service error by Jacobs, point Carolina. And this set got heavily tilted in Carolina's favor early on in the set. Aaron Virtue started to go deeper in her bench. White, Simmons getting some run. Hampton serving for the Tar Heels. Here is White with the set, and a big kill out of the middle for Jackie Boney. Veteran player, a Georgia native, former all Big Ten freshman team pick in 2021. Manny Cochran, the libero, to serve for the Wolverines. Isert, Taylor flying over. And it'll be a kill for Jackie Taylor. Took a while for it to unfold. Tar Heel lead goes to 5 again. Carson Overbeck will come in to serve as she does late in sets. 4 points away from North Carolina taking back-to-back sets to flip this match from down 1-0 to up 2-1. So Overbeck off the bench commits another service error. 6 service errors in the first set, 5 over the course of this third. Hasn't mattered though, as Carolina's, as a team, hitting .333 in this third set. Morgan Burke serving for Michigan. White will go to the bench. I feel like this is the spot where Michigan needs to go on a run if they're going to make things interesting here in this third. And they very well could. Burke over to Valette. Schaffmaster, Mabry Schaffmaster, was it touched? Yes, it was. Oh, Michigan was in the net before the attack even got off. Okay. 22-17, 3 points away for the Tar Heels. Zoe Barrett into set and serve. North Carolina, just 5 days ago in Manhattan, Kansas, dropped the first set, a back-and-forth competitive set to Kansas State. As Mike Shaw said, his team looked at each other and said, not again, we're not going to be casual. They went on to win the match 3-1. Nyambio down the line, just out. 6-point advantage for Carolina. Tar Heels trying to replicate that feat here tonight. They still would need one more set, even if they can put away this third, though, against a Michigan team that is unbeaten in the year for a reason. Nyambio out of the middle. You're talking about resilience in Michigan. You just look at their season opener. They wouldn't be 9-0 if they didn't win that first one. Simple as that sounds. Down 2-0 to Delaware. Battled back to dispense the Blue Hens. May keeps it alive. This is going to be a free ball for Michigan. Nyambio again. Barrett there. Over to Schaffmaster. Mabry Schaffmaster. So it's 15 kills for Schaffmaster tonight. 15 for Hampton. And the Tar Heels have set point in the third. Carmichael Arena, the loudest it's been all night. Schaffmaster. Jacobs off the block. Schaffmaster, one touch. May will bump it. Barrett sends it over. Burke for Vallette off the block. And Michigan saves it. Set point number 2 coming. The hustle, even to get to that second attack for Michigan, though. Serena Nyambio trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat for the Wolverines. Nyambio with a long developing ace. A third set point coming for Michigan. Set point Carolina. Michigan for the second straight set, should say, has forced a third set point. Hampton. Barrett back to Hampton. And her 16th kill of the night gives Carolina the third. Back-to-back set wins of 25-20. And North Carolina one set away from ending Michigan's unbeaten start to set 1. Continue their best start since 2021, the last time they went to the NCAA tournaments. Morgan Burke serves for Michigan to open up the 4th set. Cochran, the libero. A bump set for Vallette. And off the block, first point of the 4th goes to Michigan. Wolverines trying to force this one to 5, a place that they've only been once this year. It's in their season opener against Delaware when they reverse swept the Blue Hens. North Carolina has not played 5 yet this season. Zoe Barrett for Mabry Schaffmaster. Her attack is touched. 16th kill for Schaffmaster tonight. It has been back and forth between Schaffmaster and Safi Hampton for the team lead in kills. At the moment, both of them tied up at 16. Allison Jacobs flying down the line, could not put it in play. Attack just out of bounds for a second Tar Heel point of the set. Mike Shaw said that the win against Kansas State was so emblematic of the way that his team has grown, even in such a short period of time, one singular week from going on the road to South Carolina. Carolina was 4-0, facing the Gamecocks, their home facility, their gym in Columbia, and got swept for the first loss of the season. Being able to turn that into the ability to win in a hostile road environment against Kansas State, now carrying that back home against an unbeaten Michigan team that is vastly improved from a year ago. Already has wins over Notre Dame and Mississippi State. Michigan thinking comeback in this one. Valentina Vallette with another kill. That is her 16th of the night. Allison Jacobs to serve now for the Wolverines. Barrett across for Hampton. Safi Hampton 1 kill away from matching a career high. And they've all looked a lot like that. It's like she's bouncing on the trampoline over there. Need to get her in one of those bouncy castles that they have at kids' birthday parties, you know? See just how high she can go. I imagine it would be rather elevated. May hit the roof of that thing. Point for Vallette, though. Quick side out. Mira Chopra to serve for Michigan. Wolverines aiming to send this one to a decisive 5th set. Barrett sets the middle. Taylor was blocked. Barrett again. This time goes outside for Hampton. Jacobs back row attack. Barrett there. May bumps it over to Thorpe. Off the block and point Michigan. They go up by 2. Good start for Aaron Virtue's Wolverines. Playing from behind, especially in the third set, unable to complete the comeback. Now creating some breathing room, up 5-3. Schaffmaster out of the back row. Oh, a big flying kill. Jackie Boney. And North Carolina wants an early timeout here in the fourth set. After dropping back-to-back sets, the Michigan Wolverines racing out to a 6-3 lead here in this fourth. They need to win the fourth and fifth set to take the match and stay undefeated to get to 10-0 on the year. And out of the North Carolina timeout, it's an ace. Mira Chopra continues this run at the service line for Michigan. Make it a 4-0 spurt with Chopra there. Schaffmaster on the receiving end. Barron's got to fly out of the court to keep that one alive. Free ball, Michigan. Back set for Vallette. Hampton. Demetrician, was it touched? Yes, it was. Point Michigan. And a 5-point advantage for the Wolverines. What was 3-3 is now 8-3 for this Michigan team that is led by the second-year head coach Aaron Virtue, was the offensive coordinator under Karch Karai at the Olympics. Helped the team to the silver medal. There's another ace, 9-3. Talking with Coach Virtue about that victory, and she pointed out that coaches do not receive medals at the Olympic Games, but the United States Olympic Committee presents their coaches with a medal that corresponds to the color that the team won, in this case silver this year in Paris, and it's called the Order of Ecos medal. And the Order of Ecos is a reference to Ecos, who was the first coach in the Olympic Games, the ancient version in Greece. So, I was talking to Coach Virtue on Zoom prior to the match earlier this week, and asked where it was, and she just reaches over at her desk and pulls out the Order of Ecos medal. It's got to be pretty cool. It's got to help in recruiting, right? Back set for Vallette, blocked. Hampton and Taylor right there. Back-to-back points for Carolina. And it's the 8th block of the night for the Tar Heels. About to say 7th. Stats had not updated yet. Burke over for Boney. Good up by Eisert. Tar Heels, total miscommunication though. And in the campfire, the ball falls to the ground. Side out for Michigan. Vallette. Vallette's serve is long. 8th service error of the night for the Wolverines. Safi Hampton now up to 18 kills. Matching her career high. Next one is the new career high for her at 19. Hampton will serve here for Carolina. Cochran handles it. Michigan staying here in this 6-2, and it pays dividends. Ellie White, the freshman, set that one up for Amalia Simmons. White came in midway through the third set as Michigan transitioned from the 5-1 with just Morgan Burke into this 6-2 system. Michigan took it on the overpass there. At the nets, punched over. Mabry Schaffmaster with her 17th kill of the evening. Hampton and Schaffmaster have combined for 35 of the Tar Heels, now 49 kills. The offense is flowing through the outsides for Carolina tonight. Here's a serving sub for the Tar Heels. First time tonight we see Aaron Curtis, freshman from Los Altos, California. Curtis to serve with her team down 4 and serves an ace. How about that for a serving sub? It is the first career ace for the California freshman. Comes from a volleyball family. Her father, Jason, captained the Santa Clara men's team. Sister Emily was a setter at Villanova, and her sister Maggie plays at Santa Clara. And it's a second ace, back-to-back off the bench. And what was 5 has been trimmed to 2. Boney, big answer for Michigan. Jackie Boney's gotten more involved in the offense for the Wolverines, deeper in the third set and now in this fourth. Has just 3 kills on the night, but I think all in that span. Michigan's lead sitting at 3 here. Built the early advantage to 5. Have led much of this fourth set, a set they need to win to stay undefeated on the season. White to the outside, Jacobs, and a Tar Heel was in the net. It was Amani Foster that got into the net, resulting in the Wolverine points. Cochran. May on the receiving end. Isert for Foster. It's long, untouched, and another Wolverine points. North Carolina out of timeouts as Michigan has built the lead back to 5 here in this fourth set. The Wolverines took the first set of the night. North Carolina answered back with wins in sets 2 and 3. Wolverines need to take this fourth and then the fifth to stay undefeated and go to 10-0 on the season. Out of the timeout, another Michigan point as another Tar Heel net violation is called. Michigan builds this lead to 6. The Wolverines playing their third Power Conference non-league opponent, already owning wins over Notre Dame and Mississippi State this season. Carolina 1-1 against fellow Power Conference competition, lost to South Carolina, win over Kansas State. Mabry Schaffmaster. Next set by Michigan, and it is touched. Another kill for Amalia Simmons, providing some life off the bench. 3 kills since she's been inserted. And the switch to a 6-2 system, bringing in Ellie White to share time with Morgan Burke midway through the third set. That has flipped this match a little bit for Aaron Virtue in Michigan. Schaffmaster, it is long. Point Wolverines, and they're starting to run away with this one in the fourth. North Carolina last went to 5 sets last year, have not been there yet this season. Michigan, their 1 5-setter this year was their season opener against Delaware. Matchup of a couple of teams with similar looking football helmets. 18-9. Carolina hitting 0 in this set. Michigan hitting 467. It is almost the opposite of what we saw in set number 3. Imani Foster, and it's just been that kind of fourth set for Carolina. Michigan by 10. And Mike Shaw's going to make some subs here. Thorpe in, Barrett in, as Isert and Foster go to the bench. So just trying to get something going here for the Tar Heels. Barrett over for Schaffmaster. And the swap pays off as Mabry Schaffmaster gets to 18 kills on the night. Carolina within 9. Simmons, Amalia Simmons, and played in just 3 sets all season. now has sparked Michigan off the bench here tonight. And those 3 sets were against Oakland in the last matchup for Michigan. So Simmons working her way back in for the Wolverines. Barrett. And Schaffmaster long and wide. 21-10. This one is all but guaranteed to be headed to 5. And that's kind of what we thought at the start of the night. 2 teams that are off to hot starts this year, trying to bounce back from, again, by their program standards, disappointing years, 2023. And this is a real measuring stick matchup here for each tonight. Ambio out of the middle. Hampton. Cochran. Jacobs off the block. Michigan's going to get another chance here. A back set for Jacobs. Allison Jacobs. Lengthy rally ends in Jacobs' 9th kill of the night. And Michigan doubling up North Carolina in the 4th set. Michigan will be the team that gets to the 5th with all sorts of momentum on their side. Behrens across for Hampton, straight into the block. Schaffmaster gets it over though. Vowlett, Barrett digs it. Hampton, Tar Heels out of system. Michigan with a free ball here. Vowlett goes off speed and negotiates for the Michigan points. Wolverines are just 2 points away. You had to figure a team that's off to an undefeated start like this in Michigan, they were not going to go quietly after North Carolina roared back to take the 2nd and 3rd. Jacobs at the service line, all but a formality, sending us to the 5th set now. Oh, the Tar Heels with Chelsea Thorpe picking up a big point. Maddie May will get to serve here. 23-12. Jacobs on the receiving ends. Ambio out of the middle. Set point Wolverines.
Set point Michigan.
Merit Chopra to serve for Michigan. A Wolverines team that will have 12 set points here in the 4th. Hampton. Safi Hampton with a new career high, her 19th kill of the night. Surpasses the 18 she had against Miami last season. Congratulations to Hampton, who's played very well tonight. Taylor Eisert to serve for the Tar Heels, but still Michigan with 11 set points to negotiate here. Back set, Vowlett with authority. And that is the story of the 4th set for the Michigan Wolverines. An emphatic 4th set win, 25-13. That was their last time they reached the NCAA tournament. And a win for either team tonight feels very important toward building that resume come selection time. Zoe Barrett to serve for the Tar Heels. Ambio over for Michigan. Barrett for Mabry Schaffmaster, who's been great, but the Michigan block has been a little bit better. They're 10th of the night, and the first point of the 5th belongs to the Wolverines. Allison Jacobs serving for Michigan. North Carolina trying to turn the page from a very disappointing 4th set. In the 5th, for the first time all year, Michigan 1-0, obviously, in 5-setters this season. Another one, 2-0 Wolverines. This would not be a reverse sweep if Michigan earns the win. They won the first set, but The Tar Heels last year suffered 3 reverse sweeps at home. Were able to come back and win a 5-setter against arch rival Duke in the season finale last year, perhaps signaling a turning point. There's a big first point of the 5th for Engelbrecht and the Tar Heels. But for a team that brings back a lot from last season, some of these veteran players like a Schaffmaster, they have been through tough matchups not going their way, especially on their home floor. Trying to earn a big win here tonight. Schaffmaster's serve is long and wide. Point Michigan. But how about Michigan after they were down big in the middle of the 3rd set? Aaron Virtue brought in. Ellie White changed things up. Went to a 6-2. And it completely flipped things for the Wolverines. They were able to make that one close, though. Carolina won the 3rd set, and then a dominant effort in the 4th. Behrens for Safi Hampton. Her 20th kill tonight. Such a reliable source, a career evening for the sophomore. Maddie May will serve for the Tar Heels. Remember, in the 5th set, you only play to 15. We'll switch sides when somebody reaches 8. Valette off the block for a Michigan point. Valentina Valette with a 20-kill evening of her own. Her career best is 21. The Argentinian sophomore who missed the last 2 matches for Michigan. They were both wins for the Wolverines. But back in there here tonight and carrying Michigan offensively. Hampton. Boney punches it over. Schaffmaster able. Taylor out of the middle. Demetrician. Demetrician is wide. Carolina within 1. Frantic sequence for both sides. Carolina earns the point. And I think Aaron Virtue may want to take a look at that, see if there was a touch. I think the signal is Michigan's not looking for a touch, they're looking for a net here. That is correct. Okay, the public address announcement does confirm my suspicions that the review is not for a Carolina touch. It is to see whether or not there was a Tar Heel in the net. Both of these teams will continue play in the ACC Big Ten Challenge as the weekend goes along. For Michigan, they'll be back in action tomorrow at Duke. North Carolina gets a day of rest before they host Michigan State on Sunday afternoon. Michigan State and Duke doing battle tonight in Durham. 4th year in a row that this scheduling arrangement has existed between the 2 schools in Michigan in the Big Ten and the 2 rival triangle schools in the ACC, providing some quality early season matchups. Conference play begins next week. For Michigan, it begins with that rivalry. Michigan State on Friday night in Ann Arbor. Carolina will be home next week. They'll get Syracuse and Boston College at home. By the way, also visiting Ann Arbor next weekend is Rutgers. So 2 straight at home for both of these teams to open the league slate next weekend. Spartans and Scarlet Knights for Michigan, the Orange and the Eagles for the Tar Heels. We are reviewing to see if there was a net violation on the Tar Heels. The review does not provide enough evidence to overturn the call. It is a point for Carolina, and it stays 4-3. Tar Heels need somebody to serve here. Chelsea Thorpe is going to come back onto the court. He's got a sub with Eisert. Foster and Barron as well, and Eisert will serve here. Service line's been some trouble for the Tar Heels tonight. 14 service errors in the match. Everything straightened out. Eisert ready to serve. Michigan by a point, decisive fifth set. White. Dug up by May. Back set for Foster. Good cover there, Ellie White. And Michigan goes to the outside, and Amalia Simmons. She has come on so strong as this match has continued. Wolverines back in front by 2. Ella Demetrician to serve, and a service error. We just talked about Carolina's service errors. That's the 9th for Michigan tonight. And right back to 1. White. Foster hustles to keep it in. May's got to send it over. Big opportunity here for the Wolverines. It goes to Jacobs. She goes off speed. Good cover. Eisert. Let's see. And it's touched out. Point for Michigan. 6-4 Wolverines. Maddie Cochran to serve. Michigan's led by 2 a couple of times in this set. They have not led by 3. Taylor guides it over. High set for Schaffmaster off the block, and Mabry Schaffmaster makes sure that Michigan will not earn that 3-point lead right here. After the side out, here comes Aaron Curtis to serve for the Tar Heels. It was Curtis who came off the bench and served up back-to-back aces earlier in the match. Curtis's serve. Received by Cochran. Over to Jacobs it goes. Eisert sets the middle. Engelbrecht turned aside. Engelbrecht will punch it back. Are they going to say Carolina was in the net? Yeah, they are. Point for Michigan. So they go back up by 2, and we've been in this back and forth here where the Tar Heels have gotten it to 1, then Michigan pushes the lead back to 2. Again, Michigan is not led by more than 2 in this fifth set. Michigan took the first, Carolina took the second and third. Wolverines roared back to force a 5th. Eisert for Schaffmaster. Jacobs from the outside. Eisert back over Schaffmaster. Cross court! What vision! Mabry Schaffmaster with her 21st kill of the night. Seven, 6. Zoe Barrett to serve. Some life again in Carmichael Arena. But Michigan has been so successful at preventing this 5th set from getting tied. Over it goes, Chelsea Thorpe. Just inside the back line, and now we're level at 7. Barron will continue to serve. We'll switch sides after the next points. Cochran on the receiving ends. Burke will set up Vowlette. Schaffmaster there for the dig. Barron back for Schaffmaster into the block point. Wolverines. Michigan goes up 1. Teams will switch sides here. 5th set action in Carmichael Arena. Michigan 9-0 on the season, trying to get to 10-0. It would be the first time since 2018, the 8th time in the history of their program. North Carolina, meanwhile, trying to earn this win over the Wolverines. Closer we get to it, the more they so critical 2-point advantage pays dividends. Allison Jacobs to serve. Zoe Barrett sets up Engelbrecht down to the middle. And the graduate transfer ties us up at 8. Mabry Schaffmaster to the service line. The Tar Heels looking for the lead here. Schaffmaster. Vowlette off the block for a 21st kill. Michigan by a point. Neera Chopra, who has been able to engineer some lengthy runs tonight, in to serve for Michigan. Any lengthy run here could win this one for the Wolverines. Hampton on the receiving end. Maya to race to get it. Hampton will guide it over though. Jacobs to Demetrician. Dug by May. Barrett for the set. Hampton off the block. Barron again. Hampton guides it over. What a rally. To the outside. Vowlette. And it's touched for a Michigan point. They lead it by 2. Timeout, North Carolina. 1 remains for the Tar Heels, 2 for Michigan. Michigan by the Michigan Wolverines trying to continue their undefeated start to the season. 9-0, looking for 10-0. 5 points away from a comeback 5-set win here in Chapel Hill. North Carolina's wins in the second and third set put them on the doorstep. Michigan emphatically won the fourth, 25-13. And now the Wolverines 5 points away with Neera Chopra continuing to serve. Chopra out of the timeout, sends it long. Service error, point Carolina. Maddie May will serve it for the Tar Heels. May puts it up. Burke, a set for Vowlette. Blocked! Taylor and Hampton, and we're tied. That's a freshman and a sophomore. The 8th block of the night for North Carolina. Now the Tar Heels can take the lead here in the 5th. Burke. Vowlette has to guide it over. It's a free ball. Barrett, a good swing from Taylor. Cochran was there. Demetrician blocked back. Carolina in front. Timeout, Michigan. Erin Virtue calls the first of her 2 timeouts, each team with 1. Maddie May continuing to serve for the Tar Heels. It's a short serve, Demetrician handles it. The attack comes from Jacobs. May there for the dig. Barrett across, Hampton! Safi Hampton's 21st, and the Tar Heels take the 2-point advantage. A 4-0 run. Boney, great up there from Schaffmaster. May has to bump it over. Cochran for Burke. Vowlett. Barents. Taylor. Free ball. Barrett back to the outside. Back to Hampton. Vowlett. Can't make it over. The run goes to 5. Timeout, Michigan. Maize and blue and Carolina blue always makes for a high quality athletic competition, and tonight in volleyball has been no difference. A 5-0 run by North Carolina, and they are 2 points away from handing Michigan their first loss of the year. Michigan will be out of timeouts after this. North Carolina will have one left. What a night for Safi Hampton. Jackie Taylor has stepped up clutch here in the 5th set. Meanwhile, for the Wolverines, you'd have to imagine Valentina Vowlett will get involved. Leads the way tonight. Really the only player who's been able to consistently get things going offensively for Michigan. 22 kills for her. Vowlett is over on the bench, drying off her hands on the towel. Now we'll step back onto the court. Tar Heels take the floor as well. North Carolina is 2 points away. Maddie May continues to serve. Puts it up. Vowlett does in fact get a swing. Barrett sends it over. Burke will set up Boney out of the middle. May dug it up. Thorpe on the outside. North Carolina has match points. Demetrician got in the net for Michigan. 4 match points for the Tar Heels. And the bench just waiting to erupt. May serve. Hampton. Who else? Safi Hampton's career night ends a 5-set thriller that belongs to the North Carolina Tar Heels.